I've always known that proximity is power. And I know that who you associate with, who you're surrounded with influences not just your thinking, but also helps you grow your business, exposes you to bigger thinking and different avenues.
Instead of hurting your business, it actually helps your business big time.
Accomplishing anything is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. So you were mentioning that the mechanics piece you can plug into. Do this, in this order over this period of time, and you'll get results, right?
Yeah.
It may not happen in the time frame that you want, or it may not happen as quickly as you want, but it will happen as long as you maintain persistence and consistency. And then this idea that leadership is about teaching people how to think so they can do what they need to do when they need to do it, so they can have what they want when they want it. So it's the marriage of those two pieces, which is mechanics, which we're going to open up the kimono and give you all of the systems, processes, procedures that we utilize in order to sell real estate in high volume. And then it's that second piece of how to think. And when you combine those two, you can completely change the trajectory of not only your life, but the lives of your children and your significant other. It's a ripple effect. It ends up spilling out, to others.
Hi, everybody. Jose Luis Morales here. Welcome back to another episode of the Residual Real Estate Agent Show. Today, we have our newest eXp partners here. We have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Aaron Novello. We got Ricardo Salazar here, and we got Jose Salazar here as well, too. So we're super excited, and we're happy to have him on the podcast. Welcome to the show, guys. How are you guys doing today?
Thanks for having us over, bro. Really appreciate it. Super excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited as well, sitting down with you two.
Yeah,
for sure, man.
Yeah.
We're equally as excited. It's we're very much so aware that you have lots of options at your disposal, and we do appreciate you choosing us, man, for sure.
It was easy.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
So, I've been in coaching for 8-9 years with another company, and I've always known that proximity is power. And I know that who you associate with, who you're surrounded with influences not just your thinking, but also helps you grow your business, exposes you to bigger thinking and different avenues, and cuts down the learning curve. And you're just exposed to so much different things that help you propel your business forward. And so when you called me, I denied I don't even know 4 or 5 times, Jay.
Big time.
Yeah, and so I finally said, look, let's sit down. And it was funny because, and I'll go on a little tangent, a little story, but we're sitting down having sushi, and he's going through everything, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, bro, you're going to, in our market, you're going to show me all this, I'm in. And I made the decision right there on the spot. I told him I'm in, and he's like, okay. And we both drive away from the meeting, and 3 minutes into the drive, he calls me and he's like, hey, bro, are you sure, bro? I'm like, bro, don't talk me out of this. I'm 100% in.
I did.
Yeah. And so I cleaned out my office that night or the next night and called the broker and said, I'm in. It was so easy just to see how much, to be in proximity to you and as well yourself, Aaron, and just to know that I'm going to be exposed and be able to implement all this, which I have been. And I'm super excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I wrote down something as you were speaking, this idea that collaboration is the new currency.
That's right.
So what's interesting is your mind was blown. Wait a minute. Instead of viewing Jose as a competitor,
exactly,
now he's going to be my collaborator. So talk a little bit about that.
So, obviously, when we're in naturally, right? You're competing and you're going, I think in the past you've taken a few listings from me, I've taken a few from you, and it's always something you're always trying to get ahead, but only for yourself. And it's hard to really invest in other people unless they're on your team. And I remember JLM really showing me this and being like, bro, this is the vehicle. He's like, Ricky, I've always wanted to help you, bro. I love you, dog. And I'm like, and naturally we did, because from that coaching background, we're always trying to help because, everybody gets help. We all get coached. We're all growing together, right? And so, but it was so hard in your own market. Yet JLM was like, bro, this is a vehicle that's going to allow me to help you, bro. And I looked at him and I put my ego to the side and I said, let's go. So it's an awesome opportunity, what the vehicle of eXp offers. And I'm super appreciative of you just calling me, dude, and not giving up on me, bro.
I know. And it's funny because I had plenty of agents that I wanted to help. A lot of people don't know this, but Ricardo and I actually started at Century 21 at the same exact time. We go like, he's probably one of the people that I know in real estate for the longest time, just because we were in the same office. And he said, I always wanted to help him, but back then my mentality was more like, well, why would I help somebody become my competition?
Right.
But here's the funny thing for the viewers out there. It's really interesting because instead of my business going down, it's actually improved, because now that we're collaborating, there's some listings that maybe Ricardo hasn't been able to take. And he'll be like, hey, bro, I tried calling this guy, not very responsive, give it a shot. And vice versa. I've been like, hey, look, here's another person that I haven't been able to do it. So instead of like being competitors, we're collaborators.
Yeah.
And that's actually what's happened. A lot of people imagine like, well, look, why would somebody in your own marketplace train you? Instead of hurting your business, it actually helps your business big time.
To be exact, it's 3 or 4 referrals already, bro. And one of them is 2.7.
I know. Yeah. And he's getting paid referral checks on
That's
that.
right.
Yeah, I love that. And it's interesting as you say that, because I was talking to my wife recently, that I really feel, I said, doesn't this feel like we're actually like in business with Jose?
Yeah.
And it totally does, because my staff's talking to your staff's talking to my staff.
Yep.
And essentially all of the systems, all the processes, all the procedures, all the training, you just get access to.
Let's count how many times Aaron says essentially.
Maybe. And then and we can count hey, bro.
He can't say it more than you, bro.
Exactly. And then we can count the amount of times that Jose says bro. And we're good. We're good.
That's funny.
Jose, I didn't really know you very much before, like Ricardo. Obviously, I knew that you guys were twin brothers. Like, what has been your experience since partnering up with us, bro? And
Yeah, that's one.
Count it. Ding, ding. And maybe what do you like? Like, what was the experience at like a previous company, and what have you noticed in the last? How long have you been partnered together now? A year, right? Almost a year.
Been since like November.
November of last year. Yeah. So it's almost going on a year, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm fairly new to the business. I got involved with my brother. It was a route that I chose because I was in the oil fields. I was traveling. I was in Alaska during the pandemic. I left my kids. I kind of felt like I left them, it's not a good feeling when, in a pandemic and a lot of things are going on and you can't, being in Alaska, you can't really be in proximity to your kids. And so I had to make a decision to work, with a schedule that I can work around. And then, just joining eXp with yourself, with the university, it's helped me from beginning to end. It's a complete open book. I'm studious. I graduated from Channel Islands University in business.
Awesome.
And it's kind of, so there's teachers that you have that they teach you business and they, point to the book. This is what it says. This is how you answer the questions. And this is how you pass the test. But they've never even actually owned a business or operated. And you can see it. And I've asked them, do you own a business? They're like, no. And so it's kind of, and it's different because in this experience with Jose and with Aaron, there's so much value that's given. It's an open book. It's a university that teaches you from beginning to end on the buyer side, on the seller side. If you have any questions, it's in video. There's scripts there. And then, there's live actual recordings of, conversions of appointments. And, just to be able to be in proximity of somebody that's actually, they practice what they preach. It makes a lot more, it's almost tangible. It's, where success is because it's right there. And then with the Discord, anytime you have questions, you have real live answers immediately. And it's helped me. I mean, I look at other realtors and they've been in the business for quite some time. And I feel like I'm just leaping them just because of the access that I have, and not only to the university, but now with adding Aaron Novello, it's with the coaching, it's almost full circle. And it's almost a blessing to be in this area, in this vicinity with you guys, just being able to know that I can succeed. It's possible because you guys are proof, and I feel like I'm in a good place and I've landed where everybody wants to land.
That's awesome, brother. And again, like, we're super appreciative of the opportunity. I was taking notes as you were writing stuff down. Being away from your children during a difficult time is very difficult, right, and hard. And it's a testament to you that you were able to, make the best of that situation.
Yeah.
The other thing I think is interesting is you mentioned something that, it's a challenge because we live in an environment now where you no longer have to be competent in order to be famous. So it's a challenge to find out like who's actually full of, nonsense and who's actually tangibly has done what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So I'm wondering, because you mentioned that group call and you guys are always awesome participants on that call. So talk to me a little bit about like what you've taken just in the time that you've been on that call with me personally in that group setting.
Yeah, and that's a great question because in real estate, it's a mindset in just being able to be coached in a different way of thinking, in a positive way, just discovering yourself. It just goes a long way in when you couple that with business. It's the missing factor, with JLM, you have the scripts, you have the university, you have the systems where you just implement, but then there's a missing factor, which is the mindset and what it actually takes to accomplish this. And that's something that you're helping me discover. You're helping me discover the things that I thought that I wasn't able to do. I'm starting to question myself and starting to believe in myself and also believe in the process that as long as, everything that's given to us with you two, it's only one thing that's required. And that's just plugging in and having effort.
That's right.
And
awesome.
So
I love that.
I'll share with you guys something that Aaron taught me back in the day. What Aaron said to me is the best thing that you can get from a mentor is access to the way that they think, because the way that they think allows them to do what they do. Because if you think about it, like we've all got 2 ears, we've got one mouth, we've got 2 hands for the most part, most of us, 2 feet. So what's really the difference between those who achieve like astronomical results and somebody who's barely getting by? And really the difference is the way that they think about different situations. And for me, mentorship has been very important in my life. And that's what he basically started shaping the way that I think about money, shaping the way that I think about selling, shaping the way that I think about prospecting, shaping the way that I think about finances. There's about marriage, about friendship, about manhood. There's just been so much that I've learned from this guy as it relates to that. So for me, it's a pleasure because I look at Jose, and from the time he joined eXp to a call we had recently, I started asking questions to everybody like, hey, who knows this, this, and this? And Jay starts saying, oh, well, this, and this because of that. Yeah. And to me, that was like, oh my God, like, because I look back at the moment you joined, bro. And when you joined, I was like, you were good, but it wasn't like impressive. Now, like, I was like, man, like you can have really good conversations with clients and really help them achieve the real estate goals. So for me, bro, it's like, I'm really proud of you, bro. Awesome. Like extremely proud of you from like where you started to where you are now. And I didn't even know you were away from your kids in the pandemic. So like that like is awesome, bro. Congratulations on that, man. It's exciting. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And I wrote down like to piggyback off that, accomplishing anything is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. So you were mentioning that the mechanics piece you can plug into. Do this, 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 in this order over this period of time, and you'll get results, right? Yeah. It may not happen in the time frame that you want, or it may not happen as quickly as you want, but it will happen as long as you maintain persistence and consistency. And then this idea that leadership is about teaching people how to think so they can do what they need to do when they need to do it, so they can have what they want when they want it. So it's the marriage of those two pieces, which is mechanics, which we're going to open up the kimono and give you all of the systems, processes, procedures that we utilize in order to sell real estate in high volume. And then it's that second piece of how to think. And when you combine those two, you can completely change the trajectory of not only your life, but the lives of your children and your significant other. It's a ripple effect. It ends up spilling out, to others. Yeah. Which is beautiful, bro.
Yeah, I completely agree because the way, in the coaching calls that we have, the mindset, I'm starting to, because I coach football and I've been coaching for about 10 years. So when I talk to the kids, I kind of mentor them as well. And it's starting to spill off a mindset of actually believing and being a winner in your head before you actually can go and perform. And, it's just like you said, it's 80 and it's 20 and if you can't really be successful on the field if you're not successful in your head, and that's one thing that I get from Aaron, you know, and obviously with JLM and Ricardo, you know, I do everything with him since forever, right? Since we came out the womb, obviously, but you know, and he's helped me so much, and you know, it just with you two, it just makes it kind of a full circle. Now it's like I have all the pieces that I need to be successful, and like I said, all I got to do is control my effort.
You guys are twins, right?
Identical.
Who's older?
I am. 3 minutes. He kicked me out the womb. Yeah. Get out.
That's good.
Here's one thing that I had for you, Ricardo. We were together at Century 21. Yeah. Then you ventured off to Keller Williams. I ventured off to Remax. Yeah. Like, what has your experience been working at other companies in relationship to eXp? Like, how do those compare? Obviously, like, I love every company that I've worked for. We're not bashing on any other company in any way, shape, or form, but just kind of talk about that.
I think like most brokerages, they don't offer the real, like the sales background, and they're not implementing it. Like it's basically a free for all. And obviously, like, from all the coaching that I've done, everything is sales oriented. And I didn't come over to eXp because like it's a great platform. It's a phenomenal platform, and it's the vehicle to do what we're doing. But I came over for the proximity to be with you guys, right? One of the first things I implemented was hiring Aaron, right? Like almost immediately, instantaneously, I did that. And I dropped my other coach. I went straight in and I started adapting. So the difference is like the actual, like the systems that are given, not just the systems, but when I say systems, I'm not talking about just like the CRM. I'm talking about like the skills platform, the role-playing platform that you have, the coaching platform, the support platform, the prospecting platform, all the systems. This is what we do here. And it's like sales oriented 100%. Other brokerages, it's not like that. It's like, hey, figure it out. Call me if you have any contractual problems or whatever. Like over here, it's like, you know, I have this objection. And I know I'm going to face it on the appointment. What do I do? What do I say? And it's like, and you guys teach that at such a high level. And I've taken listings this year because of that. And so have my other colleagues, right? So like the difference is the entire system and the platform is geared to help you produce like in volume, to have to be able to replicate, track, and be prosperous in the business. And now I'm starting to implement the whole business side of the real estate game. It's not just me on a hamster wheel just prospecting all the time, right? It's like, okay, how can I leverage this? How does this help me get more time back so that I can do what I do best, right? And so it's just the entire platform.
Yeah, it was funny because I remember on one of our calls, there was a listing appointment where we broke it down. Like you kind of shared with us exactly what you did at the listing presentation, and we broke it down exactly and been like, hey, look, like these are maybe some of the adjustments that you should consider for the future listing appointments. And I remember at the end of that call, you were kind of like, wow, like you didn't even know. Not only that, but I remember you also telling me that in the last like 6 to 8 months, you've been challenged more than I'd probably easily say the last 5 years, in the last 6 to 8 months, as it relates to like thinking, as it relates to how you handle certain scenarios, as it relates to just different things as well.
And I'll tell you a quick little story. When we went through that on the mastermind call, when you showed me what you did to get that listing,
I didn't want to say that. He took
he took a listing. Ladies and gentlemen, he took a listing from me, okay?
I was leaving that part out.
Okay, but look, so he showed me what he did. I showed him what I did. We made adjustments. We started role playing. Not too long after that, I went on a listing appointment for 1.4, and I scratched the way I was doing it. I staged my first property. I came from a place of massive contribution, provided massive value. I staged my first property, and I basically mirrored what you did, and I took the listing. And they agreed to pay for the staging. It's in escrow right now. I'm going to get 30 racks or $35,000, whatever it is, right? From that conversation that we had.
So for just the viewers to understand, and this is like kind of like the power of like partnering up with people. Like think about it. Me and him went on a listing appointment together.
Yeah.
We both competed for the listing appointment. I ended up winning the listing appointment, but what I did to help him out is I said, look, Ricardo, on our next call, I'm going to go over everything that I did to win that listing appointment. That way, the next appointment that you go on, you're able to basically win that appointment. And that's basically what he shared, which to me, like, I don't know of any other company that can basically do that.
No, it's wild. Like there's no other platform that promotes collaboration at that level.
Not even close.
Not even close. And what was interesting about what you were saying when you were saying at like your previous company is that you were a successful agent. I mean, prior to making this change. And at the same time, there was like a plateauing of sorts.
Major.
And in order to go to that next level, my experience is that there's usually three things that keep me stuck. One is a skill that I need to learn.
Right.
Two is a character trait that I need to develop.
Yep.
Or three is a limiting belief.
Right.
And that becomes the bottleneck, right? Because usually a bottleneck, almost 80% of the time, is the psychology of its owner.
Yeah.
Right? So by looking at the opportunities that were available to you, you're like, okay, what's the value? So the value I'm getting here is that, okay, I just kind of do my thing. The value I'm getting over here is I'm getting access to information that's going to allow me to go to this next level. And that's precisely what's beginning to happen. Is that right?
100%. So like, again, I didn't come to eXp because of the vehicle, even though it's phenomenal. I came for the proximity. I wanted to know how you think. I wanted to know who showed you. And I wanted to know how you operate. Mm-hmm. And I'm implementing every pillar, like we call it, Coach, every pillar little by little by little. And it takes time, but I'm super dedicated and it's starting to happen. And I'm super excited.
A lot of people don't know this in Ventura County, but for a while, like I didn't really tell people like, oh, Aaron Novello's like my mentor, he's my coach. Yeah. I just used it as my secret weapon. It was like my kind of like people would look at what I was accomplishing and it was just like, this guy's my secret weapon, you know, like, because it's almost like an athlete, bro. Yeah. Like getting an athlete like in tip-top shape physically, mentally, spiritually, and that's kind of what I felt. But now, like, we have this opportunity where we've partnered up together, and now we're helping everybody that we come in contact with, everybody that gives us the opportunity to basically help them improve their life, improve their business, and actually grow as individuals as well too.
Which is super interesting because with that previous models and lead to a different mindset. So you have to be careful the way you incentivize people because the way you incentivize people shapes behavior. So you were feeling back then like, yo, this is my competitive advantage. Yeah. I don't want to share it with anybody.
Wow.
And now because of this platform and the opportunity, now you're actually not only encouraged but compensated to share because now you have a vested interest in people being as successful as they possibly can.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's what I love about the company. That's one of my favorite things, that we get to collaborate with different people. We've got a big goal now to change the lives of 15,000 agents.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool. Anything else that you guys would like to add or that you guys think would be of value to the audience?
I just think if you're a new agent and you're thinking of joining a company and you're scared of, you know, the learning process and what it takes to be successful, there's not a better opportunity than with these gentlemen here and the access and the proximity that we have to somebody that actually is successful and does they do preach, they practice what they preach, and they're open books. It's any question you have, it's all out there. There's no way you can't succeed with this team. With eXp, and I'm just fortunate to be here with you guys.
Yeah, I would even add to that, and I would say for agents that have been in the industry for a long time, or you know that you're not necessarily new. Like even for myself, not that like, and I'll go back to what you said, like the limiting belief and the character traits and whatnot. And yeah, there was a certain level that I felt like, you know, I got complacent. And then I felt like it was unattainable. And I don't know what I don't know. And until I started getting exposure to you guys, and I knew it was there. And so if you're struggling, if you want to make it through this recession and come out the other side with business and to continue to grow your business and actually, you know, like really take yourself to the next level because you know you can and you owe it to yourself. I promise you there's not a better platform and there's not a better group of individuals that will invest in you dearly. That's all I got to say.
For me, like closing words is like Ricardo came on as an experienced agent.
Yeah.
And I basically told him, hey, bro, there's levels, basically.
Yeah,
Like
levels to
you're
this shit.
very good at what you do, but there's another level that you may not even be aware of.
Yeah.
But it's there.
Yep.
And that's basically where I challenge them. I'm like, you're at an excellent level, bro, where you're going to go on X amount of appointments. You're going to beat 90% of the people, but there's another level to that. And not only that, but we started talking about things like Delaware statutory trust. We started talking about reverse 1031 exchanges. We started talking about cap rates, return on investment, return on equities,
Cash on equity.
cash on cash returns. So it was just like a different level of conversations.
Yeah.
That now, because he's equipped with the right information, he's able to have those types of conversations. Aside from sales, sales
Yeah.
is one thing, but knowledge in the industry is a completely different thing. You combine those two, in my opinion, that's a winning combination.
Yeah, it sounds.
Some people have sales, no knowledge. Some people have knowledge, no sales.
And marketing.
You combine those two, it's over.
Yeah, it's unstoppable. And what came up for me is that what happened is you got proximity to people whose standards were different. And when you get
Standards that I didn't even think existed.
Exactly.
When I see you guys play, I'm like, fuck, I better. I had to check myself, put my ego in my back pocket, and I had to show up.
Yeah, which is beautiful. And when you get, what's so interesting is I think that the challenging of standards, like for those of you guys who are listening out there, ask yourself a question. How many people do you have in your life that challenge your standard? What you think is a lot, what you think is like good business, what you think is good for retirement, what you think is good, from a personal perspective, whether it be family or financial or things of that nature. How many people do you give access to your life and they actually challenge what you're thinking, right? And the more you can get proximity to that type of, kind of thinking and that type of process, then really whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, you'll be able to accomplish.
A lot easier.
Without question. A lot easier. What you do is you condense the learning curve. So you can condense decades worth of learning, right, into days, weeks, months, like a year.
Yeah.
And kudos to Ricardo, because most people would not be able to leave their ego.
Yeah.
And put that to the side, and almost like that right there, bro, shows so much about you, because so many people would be like, nah, I'm not going to join this, or I'm not going to get proximity, or no, Jose thinks that he knows everything. I'm better than this, or I'm better than that, bro. So that takes guts, bro. It takes vulnerability to be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
It was tough. Look, it's not that it was a tough decision. It was tough to swallow that, because I've tried so many different ways. I had one year, I think I had like 8,000 contacts. I mean, like, I was just hunting, and I'm like, dude, this is tough. Not necessarily how do I get that magic pill, but it's like, how do I expose myself and get closer, and like, just how do I leverage things, right? Because I knew that was the answer for me.
Not only that, but there was a time where Ricardo had a coach, and the coach was telling him, no, you need to do this, this, and this. And my advice to him was like, dude, like, you don't need to talk to 30 more people. Like, you're already talking to enough people. We need to work on your conversion, bro.
Exactly.
And it was like the people were just saying, you need to talk to 40 more people in a day. I'm like, bro, you could only talk to so many people. And I keep saying, bro.
I do. I don't know if you guys have been counting, but it's a bunch.
It's all good. But it was just different advice. And I noticed it because he was running into people, and there were certain objections that they were giving them, and he didn't know how to handle them. So that was like money, like literally, bro, just going, like slipping. And as soon as we were able to kind of close some of those gaps up, now the money goes there and it goes here.
That's right.
Instead of just, and it was like a waterfall, bro. It almost like, it made me sick, bro. How much money you were losing, bro, you know?
Yeah, it was tough, man. But it was an easy decision. It really was. It really was. And I thank you guys both so much for just like really investing, like doing like what you guys say you're gonna do. You guys show up and just pour into us. I love it. I really do.
Awesome. where can people find you guys if they want to connect with you guys, if they want to maybe ask some questions about the opportunity with eXp, or maybe they just want to ask you guys a few questions? How can people get a hold of you?
So on Instagram, it's callricardosalazar_.com, or my cell number 805-200-6333.
And I'll just do my JLM impression. Follow me on Instagram.
Yes, let's go.
Jose.salazar.exp.
Let's go.
What about you, Novello?
Yeah, man. People can find me at Aaron Novello on Instagram, or at Aaron Novello on TikTok.
And just for all of our viewers, we just want to say thank you guys from the bottom of our heart. We're not trying to sell you guys anything. This is just an authentic conversation that we're having. We honestly appreciate you guys coming on here and kind of just sharing your real experience. And we're glad that we've been able to deliver on everything that we've promised that we would deliver on. So
It's only the beginning, and I'm excited, brother.
yeah. Cool, guys. Thank you guys so much for
Peace.
watching.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys.
The twins with the jewelers, because all they do is hand out diamonds.
Boom. Let's
go.
go.